Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another piping hot serving of deep dish and dairy, the show where we talk about sports, not food. Tyler, my friend, how are you doing this evening? It's been a minute.
It has. I'm doing good. Um, it's been a minute. We took a 1 week hiatus. We tried to record, but I was on a 10-day vacation to two different states, multiple different time zones. Um, and then you were out of town as well. So scheduling it just didn't work last week for us. So I'm excited to get back to talking football. A lot has obviously happened in both the college and pro game since we talked. That'd be 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep.
so we can touch base on some of that. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good. Can't complain. My team's doing good. So, normally by this point of the season, I'm devastated. I'm broken. I have hope, which is new for me. It hurts.
I I after coming off of a high first 2 weeks. I my
Yeah,
last
we
two
eventually switched pretty much. We all three went back. We switched it.
and the worst was because I happened to be at both of those Packer games, the one in Cleveland week 3 and the one 2 nights ago in Dallas. But we will get into that. Um, Obviously, we usually talk a little college ball first, but since we obviously have essentially 2 weeks of games, to talk about, we're not going to talk about everything. Um, but a couple teams that 2 weekends ago now, we had a big matchup between Illinois, who was in the top 10 for the first time in, what did we say, since 2001, and
Yeah,
then
a long
Indiana.
time.
And Indiana is like the third best team in the Big Ten this year. Remember, they were good last year. They did make the playoff as one of the 14 teams last year, but I'd say right behind Oregon and Ohio State, Indiana's the third best team in the country right now. They beat the living doors off of Illinois.
Indeed, they did. Indeed, they did. At one point, I was like, "Go for 70." I was like,
63
"Go
to
ahead, put the
10.
points on."
Yeah, it was 63 to 10. Obviously, so that was a big one in Big Ten country
Huge.
2 weekends ago. Um, Texas, Arch Manning. Well, I guess we can fast forward to this weekend. He had probably his best game on the season. He had 5 touchdown passes. Well, I mean, they did play some weaker competition, but geez, why is it not pulling up? I wanted to actually have his stats. I know he had 5 touchdown passes. Um, Mr. Arch Manning did. If I could just find. Either way, this past weekend we had a couple big games, a couple upsets, quite a few overtime games, and most notably, right off the bat, number 8 Florida State was playing Virginia, and that went to 2 overtimes and had one of the coolest storm fields I've ever seen.
Yeah, as coolest and one of the more scary ones because it happens so fast.
Like there was no barrier set up, like no ropes or anything.
No. Yeah, normally they have like at least like guards even like
Yeah,
blocking, like barricading at the very least to kind of slow down the rush. Them
yeah.
kids said, "Oh hell no, we rushing." I felt so bad for that Florida State player that was just standing there. So
Yeah.
the wide
People were
receiver.
crazy. I kept laughing at the one that was the picture of Simba when the state is coming he's down there because basically it was fourth and half to have it in Florida State needed a touchdown to force another overtime.
Yeah.
And basically the receiver and DB went up for it. So when he came down, he landed on the ground and then he sat up. He was just staring into all these students, and that's what it looked like was the face shot of Simba, like
Yeah, a wave of students just
yeah, like
bum
in
rushing
that
this
case,
dude.
I'm just covering up and just taking,
Yeah,
because
you gotta duck. You just gotta get down.
he did not have a chance to.
Yeah, because they're all going toward the middle of the field anyway. So you just wait until most of the crowd moves forward, and you run the hell out of there as fast as you can.
But they were out there so fast that he had no chance to even sit up.
No.
So he was probably trampled pretty good.
Yeah. I'm sure he got hurt. I'm sure it hurt
Yeah,
to be
I
down.
would definitely be surprised. A couple of the other big games over the weekend, though. Number 6 Oregon went into number 3 Penn State, got the 2 overtime win there.
A
So
good one. A good
yeah.
one.
Number 13 Ole Miss upset number 4 LSU 24-19.
Yep.
Number 17 Alabama upset number 5 Georgia on the road 24-21. So we had a lot of big games over the weekend.
Yeah.
Uh, like I said, a lot of upsets. But then Illinois as well got back on the right track.
Sure did. But almost tried to throw it away though at the very
Yeah,
last second. I'm like, oh my God.
yeah. They won 34-32
Yeah.
against number 21 ranked USC. They were Illinois after that ass whooping. They dropped down to 23, I believe.
I mean, they punted us to 23. They said, "Get the hell out of here. We knew you were frauds."
Well, they should have. It was like 3 points. When you're a
Yeah.
top team, you deserve
They said,
that.
"Get the hell out of here."
Yep.
Into the basement you go.
Coming up this weekend, though, few big matchups again. We're at that point of the year. Tomorrow's October 1st. So every weekend there's some big conference games now. Wisconsin is really bad. They got embarrassed at home 2 weeks ago. They're coming off their bye week, but they got to go to number 20 Michigan. That's the Saturday morning big noon kickoff game on Fox. So completely expect them to get completely mopped all over the field. One of the big ones down in Florida, we got number 3 Miami going to number 18 Florida State. That's Saturday. That's a big one. UCLA is really bad this year. Penn State comes out to Los Angeles. UCLA already fired the coach. They're 0-4, but Penn State looks to bounce back. One of the big matchups, undefeated Vanderbilt, ranked number 16, goes into Tuscaloosa to take on number 10 Alabama. Alabama just coming off of the upset win over Georgia. But remember, Vanderbilt beat Alabama last year. So Alabama's definitely going to want to have a little
revenge
in that one. Number 1 team in the country right now, still is, no surprise, undefeated Ohio State. They take on a 3-1 Minnesota team that's sneaky. I don't think they're going to beat them. Minnesota win, that is, but don't be surprised if they hang around in this game. That's that NBC game at night. So,
yeah,
a couple exciting matchups throughout the day on Saturday. So, looking forward to another weekend kicking off on a good note.
Indeed, we are doing the same exact thing. It's going to be another great weekend of football for sure, especially college.
Yeah,
most definitely. All right, sir. Let's go ahead and mosey on into the NFL. Since we did miss last week, we're not going to cover all the games, but I think we should at least touch base on the games that we played. So I'll actually have you take the floor on this, Tyler, because I believe all your games were before mine in the schedule. I had all late afternoon games the last 2 weeks. So we'll start with your Packers from 2 weeks ago. You guys went up against the Browns in Cleveland. How did that go?
Coming off of the 2-week high that we had of looking like maybe the best team in football, the Packers defense showed up, but the offense was terrorized by Myles Garrett in that Browns defense. The Packers were up 10-0, and were the only team through week 3, because some things changed this week. They were the only team to not give up a touchdown in the first 3 quarters, the first 3 weeks of the season. No other team had done that in the NFL because the Packers had given up garbage touchdowns late when the game was already sealed against the Lions, and then the exact same thing with the Redskins. Like, they both scored where it was like 4 minutes or less, I believe. Packers just could not do anything on offense. Their offensive line played horrendous. A lot of injuries there. And like I said, the Browns have a good defense. But the Packers had a 10-0 lead going into the fourth quarter. I believe it was like 3 minutes and 53 seconds left or something like that, and they were up 10-0. but they made some poor decisions late, and the Browns just stuck in the game long enough to score 13 unanswered points in like the last 4 minutes of the game and
Yeah.
won 13 to 10. Now, one thing that is our special teams is playing pathetic. We are ranked like 30th in the league right now, and we have the highest paid special teams coordinator, and he has not done anything since we made him that. But the Packers gave up or would have kicked a field goal that would have won the game, and that got blocked. The Browns then went down and kicked a game-winning field goal of their own. Um, so special teams was a major injury or problem there, but the offense was pretty pathetic all day. Cleveland, though, the game environment was awesome. It's one of the loudest stadium speaker-wise I've ever been to. And I don't know if it probably got something to do with the fact that right next door is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So
Yeah.
and one thing we don't win very often, but at least we go make sure that it's a party.
Yeah. Right.
So they have this really cool environment. I see why they still have tradition, even though they're not. They're one of the more historic, or I guess they're a long time flagship of the NFL, but they just haven't had success. But their fans are real and loyal. I liked it. I mean, they're building a new stadium. It's going to be a dome, so I understand why places want that, so they can host things in the winter. They can host a Super Bowl, but the stadium they don't even need a new one. But it is, I guess, like 25 years old. But that place, I will say, the environment was legit. So I enjoyed going to the game, just not the outcome of the game. And that was the first game I went to on this trip. But yeah, so the Packers just one of those games where they led a team that they were definitely better than hang around all day. And when you let a team that hang around all day that has a good defense and they can, just find enough to get it done, and that's just what happened. So it was an all-around pretty ugly, stale performance by the Packers.
Yeah, I remember watching it and just being like, for both sides of the ball, obviously, for the Browns and for the Packers, I'm like, somebody got to do something. Like this is, I don't understand. Like in this league, like I understand like defenses are good, they're supposed to be, but having had seen the Packers for the first 2 weeks and then seeing them put that up against Cleveland, I was genuinely confused. But Cleveland's like that. Cleveland's one of those teams where they are a good trap game team. They really are. Some teams they beat for whatever reason, even though they should. So, but yeah, that was not great. But I will say, the Bears had a great game that week.
Let's hear about it.
We did pretty good. So, the 2 weeks ago we came off a pretty bad loss to the Lions, 52-21. Got our teeth kicked in. I think was overtly necessary. Just to kind of get some of the cockiness out of you, remind you that this is your first time as a head coach. This is your first time with your quarterback learning this system. We're still the better team in the division. We're just going to have to put that on tape for you. So we go back to Soldier Field. We get to host the Dallas Cowboys, who had just won a game against New York, but it came down to the wire. It was an overtime game, and they let off a lot of points. They let New York score a lot of points on them in that game. So this was a good opportunity for the Bears to come in and essentially take a game from a team that's known to have a pretty porous defense. And we did just that. Caleb had pretty much his best game, I would say, of his career, as far as like just a perfect way to play football. He had 19 of 28. He was for 298 yards and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, no turnovers, no sacks. And we won 31-14. It was a good game all around, all three phases: offense, defense, special teams. We took care of business. We turned the ball over. I think we had 3 interceptions and like a fumble or something. Like we were flying around out there, and it was really nice to see. It's one of those games where this is what the Chicago Bears can look like when they put it all together. When they finally mesh with this system and it finally sinks into the bones, into the muscles of how these guys play. This is what the team can look like. And Luther Burden had a coming out party. He had a bomb of a touchdown from a flea flicker that looked like it was going to be completely messed up because DeAndre Swift threw it to the goddamn top of the ceiling when he threw it to Caleb, but
Yeah.
Caleb has a rocket of an arm, so he was able to still catch it and launch it flat-footed to put the burden on a rope to go straight to the end zone. So yeah, that was an exciting game to watch all the way through. By the third quarter, we did kind of let the foot off the gas a little bit. I think that was more of a coaching thing than anything because we still could have put more points up, but I think we just kind of slowed down a little bit because Dallas wasn't doing anything offensively most of the game. They did score 11 points in the second quarter. We did let up a touchdown, which came from what is that boy's name? Not Garrett Wilson. What is his name? What is that boy's name? Who? George Pickens. Thank you. Him. He scored a touchdown and they did convert the 2-point conversion. But at the end of the day, we did take home that win. It was pretty, again, solid win. I think Caleb got Offensive Player of the Week awards for that. It was good. It was a good game. And like I said, it was one of those games where you can argue, hey, it was the Cowboys. Their defense is terrible. At the end of the day, you play who's in front of you. And it's on any given Sunday, you could either win or you could lose. So I don't care who you playing. I don't care what their record says. I don't care what the stats say. You need to go beat them. And we beat them pretty well. So at that point, we were 1-2. Still seemed like things might not get better as the season was going to go on, but that was a very good win for the team as a whole. They needed that, especially after the fucking ass kicking we got from Detroit the week before.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, Luther Burden, they had a coming out party, but then I have him on my fantasy. I was thinking about getting rid of him. I was like, okay, I hung on to him. And then this past week, it's like he went back to yeah, I don't do nothing this week.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, but I think again, game planning just didn't shake out that way, considering what happened in that game.
But yeah, DeAndre Swift. I was like, what the hell is he trying to throw it so high? He's gonna get him.
I just knew that was gonna be a busted play. I just knew that was gonna fail. I'm like, what the hell was that? And then he threw it, and I'm like, there's no way.
But yeah, Cowboys, you guys pretty much had that in the bag. CeeDee Lamb did get hurt. He's out for a few weeks. So, and he went out early in the game. So,
and to be fair, had he been playing, that score would have been different. The Dallas would have scored more points than that. They would have had that been different because CeeDee was getting catches and getting yards before he got hurt. So, I will say Rome Odunze is he won.
Second year jump.
He is jumping. I think he's the first Bears player, I think, since Walter Payton to score a touchdown in the first 4 games of a season.
Oh wow. Yeah, I know he has the most receiving touchdowns in the league right now, maybe.
He's second. I think Amon-Ra is first now again. I think he's second to Amon-Ra. Or maybe we're tied with Puka Nacua. I think he's tied with Puka. Okay. In second place.
I did hear that's what it was.
Yeah, he is somebody. That boy is good.
Finally got themselves another receiver. It's been a while.
Yeah. And I don't care what nobody say. They could say DJ number 1 to the cows come home. It's Rome's now. Rome is number 1.
Rome was drafted to be the number 1 receiver.
Correct. DJ he is just too darn good.
He he can do jack of everything. You can put him at running back at times.
Yeah, and he knows how to catch a ball. That's also very important.
Yeah. So I guess we can just run through, who won real quick the other games.
Indeed.
That week, just
for sure. All right.
Yeah, because there were a couple big games like that Lions-Ravens game.
Yeah. Let's see. Where'd it go? All right, there we go. So we'll just start from the beginning of week 3. So Thursday night, there was the Dolphins against the Bills. The Bills kind of took that one home. Yeah. It was 31-21, but it wasn't even that close. The Dolphins were terrible in that game.
The Dolphins are really bad.
Yeah, we'll just say they're not great. Correct. After that, we have Bengals-Vikings. Vikings take home that one. The Bengals also just not a good team right now, especially with Joe Burrow being out. They can't win. It's not.
They're one of the teams in the league this year as well.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. After that, Texans-Jaguars, kind of a stinker, but Jaguars win that one 17-10.
I don't know what's up with C.J. Stroud and the Texans, but they're going in the opposite direction. But they really don't have many playmakers. They have Nico Collins, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have Colts-Titans. Colts easily beat the Titans 41-20. Just a fucking shellacking of the Titans, who are
Yeah.
also not a good team this year.
Oh
Just, I
my God.
mean,
We've got some really, really bad teams this year.
yeah, yeah. I mean, again, it's week 4, and we only have 2 teams left undefeated. So many teams have lost so many games already by week 4. Next up was the Raiders at Washington to play the Commanders. Commanders beat the Dogs. Thank God the Raiders, 41-24. I believe Geno Smith had 3 interceptions in this game. He had 3 touchdowns, actually. Oh, he still lost, though.
He has the most interceptions in the league, though, for sure.
He does. He has like 6 or 7.
Seven.
Yeah. And Commanders win that one. Then the Rams went to go play the Eagles in Philly. Eagles take care of that, 33-26. Next, the Falcons went to play the Panthers, and I don't know what happens with Bryson against the Panthers, but he just plays really well, but he didn't even do that good. They win 30-0, and Bryson didn't even throw for over 130 yards. So
yeah, that one was one more surprising scores of the day. Yeah, but yeah, the Falcons are not as good as I think people thought they were going to be. I mean, I even had this one of my, I think I had them as my my final wild card team, and I don't think that they have any shot at that.
Yeah, I don't think so. Then we had the Steelers going to New England to play the Patriots. Steelers take that one 21-14. We just went over your Packers and the Browns, and then the Jets first. We had a. Do we have? Oh no! So yeah, the Jets went into Tampa to play the Bucks. Bucks come out with a win there. Almost gave it away, but they come out 29-27. And then we had the Seahawks go up against the Saints. Well, we're in Seattle, and that wasn't even a close one. They went 44-13.
Darnold's making them Vikings look like stupid right now.
Yeah, they could have kept him and just had what's his name sit one more year. They could have had him sit a year again. Yeah, and then after that, we start our afternoon slate of games with the Broncos and then the Chargers. The Chargers take that one. We just went through Cowboys Bears. Then we had the Cardinals go up against the 49ers, a dud of a game. 49ers won 16-15. I don't even remember watching that game, to be honest. So I don't really have
I do not like watching Cardinals games. They're all boring as fuck.
Yeah, they're not fun. They're not fun. Then Sunday night was the Chiefs going up against the Giants, and we all know how that went. So no worries there. And then the Monday night game was the Lions against the Ravens, in which the Lions take care of business, 38-30.
Yeah, the Lions looked really good in that game.
Yeah, they did. They looked like the Lions. Like I did.
Yeah.
I don't know what made us think they were going to take a huge step back. What were we thinking? Yeah, right. They're doing just fine. But that does bring us now to week 4. So we'll actually talk about these games a little bit more. As much as we can, obviously. I mean, think with us being like on vacation and out of town, so a lot of these games we weren't able to actually sit and actually watch. So a lot of this is going to be mostly just based on what we saw stat-wise and like highlights and things like that. So just bear with us on that. So we'll start Thursday night. The Seattle Seahawks went up against the Arizona Cardinals, and as you mentioned, whenever Arizona plays, it's a boring game, as this was. But the Seahawks do win 23-20. Big story of this game. Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison need to get it together.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems there. I don't know what it is. There's talent, but Marvin Harrison had one of the worst drops turned into an interception I've ever seen. But Sam Darnold is looking pretty good. I mean, the Seahawks are at 3-1, and he's definitely got, it seems like, a pretty good rapport now with Jackson Smith and Najigba, because I think that's why they wanted to get rid of DK Metcalf. But because I think that was kind of hampering his growth as a receiver, because he's looking like the real deal here in what, year 3?
Yep, 4.
Okay. So, yeah, I think the Seahawks are a lot better than we thought they were going to be. And I think they're definitely going to be winning the NFC West after the first month of football. I know there's a lot of time left to be played, but yeah, I think Seattle's going to be pretty interesting to watch this year. And yeah, the Cardinals are just really bad. Like you said, Marvin Harrison Jr. did have one nice touchdown catch, but you could tell that boy was going through it.
The emotions that he felt from catching that ball, the length that he fell to the ground, just from the sheer agony of it taking so long.
Yeah. So yeah, they got a lot of issues there in Arizona.
Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, I think both of Kyler's interceptions were intended for Marvin Harrison. They were balls that he was meant to catch. So yeah, they're gonna have to figure that out. They didn't draft him in the first round to be no person who drops balls. He can't be Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
We don't need now. Quentin Johnson has come around as we've seen in the last few games. He has
Yeah.
shown that he can catch a ball, and if he just needed a little bit of time. But it needs to get going. They need to figure it out and get it figured out fast. Otherwise, well, Kyler is almost up on his contract anyway. I think he's like on the last year or two of it. I don't know if they're going to extend him. I don't know if they're going to keep him or anything, but they're going to have to figure it out if they're going to start winning games around here. All right. So we're going to move on to Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, because this is our first game in Dublin. We're in Ireland for this one, and we are going to go with the Vikings going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And based on the crowd that I've heard in that stadium, they were Steelers fans up in Ireland. I don't know how that happened, but for them it was good because the Steelers did win 24-21.
Yeah. They won. Rodgers had a pretty clean game. He had a big touchdown pass to was DK Metcalf, where he basically DK Metcalf had his first really big game of the season at 5 catches, 126 yards, and a long 80-yard touchdown. Sorry, my voice is a little scratchy from yelling on Sunday Night Football this past weekend at that Cowboys game. But yeah, don't blink. But hey, the Steelers are 3-1, and Rodgers and them they still play good defense. Jalen Warren did not play. The running back, he was questionable. Hurt my fantasy. I lost because of that. Because
Yeah, I heard a lot of people's fantasies. They didn't tell anybody until game day.
Yeah,
There was
and
word that he was supposed to play.
he was supposed to play. So then I forgot to even set an alarm because I was
Yep.
on vacation, and we were out Saturday night. I wasn't getting up at the ass crack of dawn like 5
Right.
a.m. to set my.
Fix your fantasy.
I even
I'm
forgot
sorry.
that there was a early game because I woke up.
Mm.
Oh, let me set my fantasy shit, and I just see it's going. I was like, man, I'm playing against Justin Jefferson. How come he has numbers in the fourth quarter? Jalen Warren. Oh my God, he's out. I lost that fantasy league by 1.6 points, and Jalen Warren has been their main starter so far, and he's been averaging probably 12 to 14 points a game for me.
Yeah.
That was the win right there for me, but his backup, Kenneth Gainwell, had a big game. 19 carries, 2 touchdowns for 99 yards. And then he added 6 catches for 35 yards. So I like what I'm seeing out of the Steelers. And Rodgers can still do the thing. It's just if he needs to be running around a lot, that's just where it becomes a problem. So
Can't run no more. He can't run no more. He just taking the sack now. He don't care. He like, nope. Nope.
live to
I ain't
see
going nowhere.
it.
I give
Yeah,
up.
yeah. So
He
he
ain't running
went
nowhere.
Steelers over there in Dublin. That's for sure.
Yeah. Very good win for the Steelers. And I mean, nothing really to say about the Vikings. This is a Carson Wentz game. So what happened was Carson Wentz things. He did decently as far as like throwing and passing, but he did throw 2 interceptions. And when you have multiple turnovers in a game, nothing that's how you're going to lose it. So yeah, Minnesota's got some things to think about going forward because if they're either going to keep going with Wentz or if they're going to switch it back over to their semi-rookie, it's not looking good for them in these last couple of games. So we'll see.
He's still hurt, I believe. So, but
Yeah. No, I mean like once he gets better. I don't know if they're gonna go back to him or if they just be like, yeah, just keep Carson out there. Yeah, we shall see going forward. Next up, the Commanders went into Atlanta to play the Falcons, and the Falcons at the getting they butt smacked by the Panthers said, "Not today, sir, not today." They win 34-27. Another game where I didn't really have my eyes on this game too much. I picked the Falcons to kind of win anyway, so I didn't expect anything crazy to happen here. But yeah, 34-27 is a pretty good, solid win for Atlanta.
yeah, they got the big win. Atlanta going into their bye week. Michael Penix had a bit of a bounce back game. It's 20 of 26 for 313 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. But yeah, Bijan Robinson continued to do Bijan Robinson things. And yeah, they get back beating a team that's supposed to be pretty good after getting the doors beat off them by one of the worst teams in the league. So good win there.
Yeah, for sure. And the Commanders, they just need Jaden Daniels back. Not much to really say about them on that front. Marcus Mariota is not going to win you games like that anymore in his career. Maybe a couple years ago, but he's on the back end of his backup career. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's not much they can really do there.
and he still almost got them the win there.
Yeah, exactly. So he needs to put
But
some fight in.
when you get Daniels back, he'll be that difference maker.
Yeah.
So yeah, the better or the sooner they get him back, the better for them.
Yeah, to be fair, I want him back so we could play against him when we have our rematch against him in Washington. I would like to have him be the quarterback and not Marcus Mariota. That I would appreciate that. All right. And then next up, we've got the Los Angeles Chargers, and they went into New York to play the Giants, a game I thought was easily in the Chargers' hands, without a question, without a doubt. And then comes in a one Jackson Dart, who starts because they said, Russell Wilson, I'm so sorry. You got to go. Your time is done. You were serviceable. I think we had a pretty much a limit on how many games. I think we said about 4 or 5 before they started switching off and either going with Dart or with somebody else.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jackson Dart comes in, did okay for his first start. He came out with a win. He did win 21-18. He did okay for his first start.
He did all right. He only had 111 yards, but on 13 of 20. He did have a touchdown pass. No interceptions, was sacked 5 times, so that's got to be better. But he did also add 1 touchdown rushing. He did lose a fumble, though. But, yeah, they get their first win on the season. So,
yeah.
And Justin Herbert didn't have his best day. But
those picks are gross.
Yeah.
Picks can't happen.
Yeah.
Johnson, though, another good game from him.
Biggest thing coming out of this, though, was Malik Neighbors tore his ACL.
Which is crazy because he was about to go off with Dart. Him and Dart was about to light that field up, like for real. And he just come down on the leg wrong, and the leg only goes one of 2 ways. It can't go any way you want it to go. It's on a hinge, and it went the wrong way. And he said ACL's torn, and he's out for the season. Another huge blow to my fantasy league budget.
I didn't have, but yeah, that's unfortunate. He's really coming into being one of the better receivers in the league already, and only his second year. But he will be back next year, so we'll see how long Jackson Dart can keep the Giants on their winning ways.
Yep, I'll see. I mean, the way it's looking, he might be all right, but he got some tough opponents coming up here in the schedule, so we'll see how that goes. Next up, the Titans. Lord have mercy, going to Houston to play the Texans. The Titans are bad. They're just bad.
They're bad, and they might be the worst team in the league because the Titans are not looking that great this year, and they fucking tore them kind of up. CJ Stroud finally had a decent-looking game this week. He didn't have any interceptions. He was 22 of 28. So very efficient, 2 touchdowns. But big thing here is the Titans are horribly bad.
Not good. In the words of their own quarterback, they ass.
Yeah. If we're keeping it a buck.
We ass. And I like that. I'm so sorry. I appreciate that. I don't need you coming up here telling me, oh, everything's fine. We're all good. You're 0-4. Everything's not fine. Everything's not good. And that's okay. That's all right. That means there's room for improvement. You might as well dust this year up and throw it in the trash and just use it as a good year to get reps in. Just go out there and go play football and go learn the system, learn some defenses, go figure some stuff out. You're going to get a good high draft pick next year, draft what you need to get, and then go forward from there. But the season is done. I'm so sorry to say it. It's not looking great.
I just don't know how they're going to win a game.
No, I don't either. I don't see it. Even with their schedule, like they don't have any easy teams. Like they're the easy team. Like let's be real. Like they don't have any easy teams to go up against. It's just like they.
Let's just say I won't be picking them in any week to win a game. I know that. I'm going to be going them 0-16.
Yeah, definitely.
So enough on that hot garbage team.
Indeed. Let's move on to two better teams, the Philadelphia Eagles and the Bucks, who were both 3-0 at the start of this game. So this game was very important as far as like seeding in the NFC goes so far. But Philly goes into Tampa and handles business. Another blocked field goal from Philly. They are blocking every damn thing.
I know. That's crazy.
Jeez.
That's how they ended the game against the Rams when the Rams had a chance to win it. Yeah, they did not have Mike Evans in this game. He is on IR, or I believe they put him on IR. So he's out for 4 games at least. But the Buccaneers get their first loss, and the Eagles looking, like a feisty defending champ. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then finally, again, good teams find ways to win. Jalen Hurts threw for 130 yards. They didn't complete a pass more than 23 yards in the second half.
Wow. Yeah, that's
They
nuts.
they didn't do anything in the second half passing wise, and they still came out with a win. So, I mean, that's what good teams do. They go win games. So yeah, Bucks fall to 3-1. Philly remains the only undefeated team left in the NFC. So there's that. Next up, the Carolina Panthers go into New England to play the Patriots. And the Patriots take care of this one easily, 42-13 ass whooping for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers, after 1 week of winning by 30 points, they say, you know what? Let's lose by 29.
That'll show them.
So again, the Panthers got that good one against a Falcons team that just had a horrible day. The Patriots beat the living, like we said, beat them by 29 points. So the Panthers just as well are not a good team.
No, they are not.
They're one of the worst teams out there.
Yeah. And at this point, I don't know what you do coaching wise. I mean, Bryce Young is on his 3rd year. So he's got 1 year left on his contract. You have to assume they're probably not going to extend him.
No.
So I don't know what you do. I mean, obviously in the draft, you try to go get a quarterback while you got a chance. See what you can get out of the draft. I don't think there's any quarterbacks coming out this year that are highly touted. At least not yet.
Because
you could argue Arch Manning, but we see that that's getting lower and lower every time we see him play.
I would expect him to be coming back to school based on how this year's going. So
exactly. So yeah. But yeah, solid win for the Patriots. Great day for Drake May. They definitely needed that. So they're 2-2 now. They were close to going 1-3 on their season. So it's good for them to get that win there. Our next game up is the New Orleans Saints going into Buffalo to play the Bills. Bills do win 31-19. But there was a point here where the Saints were trying to win this game.
The Saints,
Saints
and Spencer Rattler surprisingly at times look like they can be a little competitive. But then again, it is the Saints and it's Spencer Rattler. So that's why they still end up losing.
That's why you lost, yeah. So they're, again, another 0-4 team in the Saints. Would you say that they're a worse 0-4 team than the Titans are?
I don't know. I think the Titans are the worst.
I think so, too. I think they're not as good as the Saints. I think the Saints still have opportunities to win games here.
Yeah.
They can still win a game.
Yeah.
They're another team. They're another trap game team, too, where it's like they go up against the right opponent on the right day, they can get a win out. They can.
Yeah, I can see that happening completely. Where with the Titans, I just don't know. I think the quarterback would have to snap his leg. The rest of the team would have to get hit by a bus. Like,
wow.
So
we're all dead. We can't play.
No, we can win, and they'd still find a way to lose.
You lost to all backups. How dare you? Exactly. Oh my gosh. But yeah, a good win for the Bills. Again, the only team remaining in the AFC who is 4-0. So my Super Bowl picks are looking real good right now. I will say that. And then let's see. Our next game up, the Cleveland Browns go up against another NFC North opponent in the Detroit Lions. The Lions said, "Oh, no, we're not the Packers. We kicking your ass."
34-10, and they look really good. Not anything like the team that started the season week 1 against the Lions or against the Packers. They look really good. Amon-Ra St. Brown, again, 2 touchdowns.
Man, he might
He's
Yeah,
balling.
offensive player of the year.
He very well might be offensive
He
player.
might be. He might be. Man's a machine.
But
He's another one too who scored a touchdown every game he's played so far this season.
Joe
Multiple ones too.
Flacco threw 2 interceptions. And I was saying this, I don't know why they aren't playing these rookie quarterbacks, but we did hear that it is expected that Dylan Gabriel will make his first NFL career start this weekend.
We'll see.
They're expected to announce that. It's just what they need to do.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. They get the win against the Packers, and then they play a team that the Packers beat, and Detroit just beats the living doors off of them and wins by 24 points.
Any
But
given Sunday.
yeah, so that's how wild it is on a week-to-week basis, and that's where we were saying, we only have 2 teams left undefeated.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I don't think that's happened in a long time. Where it's week 4 and there's only 2 teams left.
yeah, so
It's been a minute. But I like that though. It means it's more parity in the NFL. That means there are more teams getting better than
that's
teams getting worse.
why it's the best league and the best sport. So
Absolutely. All right, our next game up, the Jaguars go into San Fran to play the 49ers. And they win a game. Brock Purdy threw 2 interceptions. So, that doesn't win you stuff.
Jaguars are 3-1, surprisingly.
Yes. How is that happening? What does that mean? Well, Duval.
I'm surprised, that the 49ers are surprising 3-1. They've had a lot of injuries again, and lost some.
Christian McCaffrey, he doing every damn thing. He catching, he running, he doing everything. Ain't got nobody else on the field.
I was, surprised at the outcome, I feel, of this game, but still not too confident in Trevor Lawrence as the guy. But a win's a win.
It is, and yet the Jacksonville Jaguars have had winning seasons. He's had winning seasons as a quarterback. Our problem with him is the later half of the season and the playoffs, which he can't get to.
Well, he got there once and got blown out.
Exactly. So it's 4 games in. The 3-1 is good for them. It's good for their head coach. It's good for Trevor. It's good for Travis Hunter. It's good for the team. So good work for them. All right. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts went into Los Angeles to play the Rams. If you had told me 2 weeks ago about this game, based on what the Indianapolis Colts were doing, I would have said they would have blew the damn door hinges off the Rams. But Daniel Jones looked like Daniel Jones again.
Yeah, he had definitely his worst game of the year. 262 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And he had a fumble lost. And and then Matt Stafford maybe had his best game of the season.
Matt Stafford, man, still putting up numbers like that at his age is crazy.
And with the back that he's had.
His big age.
Yeah, so 375-yard day and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So big for the Rams, but yeah, I'm with you too. I was kind of surprised that, well, like you said, Daniel Jones did Daniel Jones things, so that's why.
He showed up again.
Had to pump the brakes on that in the first place.
And I will say another huge thing that happened in this game that definitely turned the tide was one A.D. Mitchell on the Colts, where Daniel Jones threw him basically it was a touchdown pass. It just was. His AD caught it somehow. He threw it and it tucked right into his arm. You could even see the ball when it landed. It landed right in his arm, took off toward the end zone, and he fumbled it out of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know how he did it because he wasn't trying to move around or anything. He just happened to turn his head for whatever reason, and his hands lost control of the ball, and it fumbled right out of the end zone.
Yeah. Wow.
And that swung the entire momentum because that was a touchdown pass. There was nobody near him for 10, 15 yards. He was gone, and that kind of turned the tide of the game. And once that happened, the Rams were out there like, oh, y'all suck. Wait a minute. Oh, my bad. Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait, we thought, never mind. No, we're just gonna kick your ass and send you home. Don't worry about it. Yeah, good win for the Rams. And I'm sure the Colts will be fine, but that's a loss that's gonna hurt for a little bit. I guarantee that. All right, our next game up, my Chicago Bears went into Las Vegas to play the Raiders. And if anyone had looked at that stadium, you would have thought that was a Bears game. You would have thought that was Soldier Field, the way that crowd was in orange and blue. It was actually pretty insane. This game was interesting. It came down to the wire, as most Bears games do. They just love to give us heart attacks all the time. Uh, we won this game. I have seen the Bears play this game 100 out of 100 times before in my life. We lose these games. These are games usually marked with L's when we're involved. First of all, Geno Smith threw not one, not two, but three interceptions. He
Yeah.
threw two of them to the same person on the same play. Kevin Byard intercepted Geno Smith two different times in two different halves of the game off the same play, which I was just like, okay, at that point, you don't even know that you're running the same play that I'm seeing you. Like I see what you're doing. I'm looking at you. You throwing it to this dude. I'm just go ahead and cut the route off. Tyreek Stevenson has an amazing diving catch for an interception. Now you would think with all those interceptions and with all and they had a fumble loss, all these turnovers from the Raiders, you would have thought that maybe the Bears would have been like beating the fuck out of them the whole game. No, no, no. We only win 25-24. And it didn't become 25-24 until the last minute and 30 seconds of the game. We were losing most of this game. And we had already had three turnovers before the first half was over. Mm. And again, by halftime, I'm usually like, yeah, this is an L. It just is. There's no way. We're not going to win this game. The offense was sloppy. Max Crosby is a demon. I don't care what nobody said. That man is not a human being. Okay, he was giving my quarterback fits, batted down every ball, coming off the line on every snap. Got his first career interception off a batted ball that he batted to himself and caught. Like the man was everywhere, and our offensive line couldn't do shit with him. They couldn't do nothing. He was messing up the run game, messing up the pass game. He was wrecking our offense the whole first half. Here's where I learned that this was a different game than most games of the past, where we normally would have lost this game. My head coach went into the locker room, probably screamed a bit, was pretty pissed off, probably mad, and came out and made a second half adjustment. All the shit Max Crosby was doing in the first half, he couldn't do in the second half. He moved some people around on the offensive line, got our rookie tackle in there, a rookie tackle who was holding his own against Max Crosby. Two rookie tackles even, my bad. An undrafted rookie tackle and a rookie that we had out there going up against Max Crosby. Handled business. Caleb throws a dime to Rome Odunze to get us up there. It was like 16-21 at this point. The Raiders dudes go down and score like a field goal, and we have 3 minutes to score a touchdown in this last part of the game. Again, any other time I've watched the Bears play, they scored a touchdown, get us close, and then we lose on something stupid. We scored a touchdown. We go up 25-24. We missed the 2-point conversion. We do allow the Raiders to drive down the field and get to a field goal. I think it was 52 yards. We stuffed them on a 3rd and short. So it was like 4th and 2. They bring out Carlson, who is a beast. Carlson don't miss. Carlson don't miss kicks. 52 yards, that's not bad for him. I remember sitting on the couch and going, we just got to block it. And I said it so nonchalantly, I shocked myself. I was like, did I just say that with no conviction? I was just like, oh, we just gotta block it. I'm not even worried about this. We just gotta block the kick. We gotta block it, or he gonna miss it. We just gotta block it. And sure enough, Carlson goes for the kick. A one Josh Blackwell on our special teams comes off the edge, pops that thing. Game over. Game over. Yeah. I about lost my fucking mind in my house. I went nuts. And I think what's really comforting about this game is that we had that game against Dallas the week before, where we basically beat the door hinges off that team and had a strong offensive game. Not a strong offensive game here, but the team didn't quit. I've watched my team quit on games like this. Them boys came out that second half with their hair on fire and said, we gonna keep playing like it's the first half. We just gonna play. And we're gonna come out with a win. We're gonna find a way to win this game. And they did it. Then that can only be one Ben Johnson. I'm sorry. The players are all the same. And these are the same Google players from last year who had to deal with this shit with Eberflus. Ben Johnson is a coach who takes accountability, who learns from his mistakes, and isn't afraid to change things when he needs to. He ain't got no ego like that. I liked what I saw from the Bears in this game. Ugly game, gross game. It's what the Bears and Raiders are. They're just gross. But a good win for the Bears, a good character win for them. And we've got a bye week coming up. You need that. You need to take that into the bye week. You could have gone to the bye week 1-3. You're going in there 2-2, 2 games in a row that you've won. And not even saying all the players that we had off on defense that were out with injury. We had our top 4 players in defense out, our top offensive lineman out. Go win the game. Go find a way to win. And that's what they did. So I would say, all in all, gross win, but a win nonetheless. And I conclude.
The other reason the Raiders were even in this game too is because Ashton Gently finally had his coming out party.
He did really well. Very sad.
So that was nice because I took him with my first pick in my fantasy. So
he did
finally anyone doing shit so far. So good for him. He had his first real a pro day. So
yeah. And I expected that. Our run defense is porous. It's bad. So I'm like, if anything, Ashton Jetty's gonna go off, and he did. He rushed for one, but he also had 2 passing touchdowns that we just couldn't stop for whatever reason. So, and then Max Crosby had a career day too. They had 2 players on 2 sides of the ball who kept them in this game. But Geno Smith, Geno Smith. What can you do with Geno Smith?
Not too much.
Not too much. But Bears win 25-24. We're going into a bye week, and we'll see how we come out on the other side with some healthy players and a new mindset going forward. The Raiders are in trouble. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. All right, next game up. Oh, the Baltimore Ravens went up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this is another set of teams that desperately needed this win based on how their records were. They were both 1-2 at the time, going up against each other. Mahomes is Mahomes. So
yeah, he had his best game of the season so far.
Sure did.
Touchdowns, no interceptions. And Baltimore is just not. They're in games. Well, they were not in this one because Lamar Jackson did hurt his hamstring, and it's going to be out a few weeks.
Yeah.
2 to 3 weeks. So the Ravens might be in trouble this year for making the postseason. So yeah, sitting at 1-3, just lost to 2 of the teams that are probably going to be the better ones in the league, in the Chiefs, because we're sitting here now. They started 0-1. They came into this game, 1-2, like you said. They're now 2-2. We're gonna look up, and it's gonna be week 14, and they're gonna be 12-2. So
they're gonna go on a run. They're gonna beat everybody.
But the Ravens very easily be a 1-16 when he comes back, because they got the Texans, then the Rams, then they luckily have a bye, but then they play the Bears. The only winnable game after that would be week 9 at the Dolphins, but who's to say he won't be back for that already? So we'll obviously have to monitor how long he's out. But apparently he wasn't even healthy in the first place. So hamstring injury, and we know with a running quarterback like that, hamstrings are injuries that can frequently, they're not hard to re-injure them.
Yeah.
A lot of people have hamstring issues. They're a lingering thing. So you might be good for a couple weeks and then boom.
Yeah, it's back out again.
So, yeah.
The work you have to put on it when you play is you need your leg. You need your hamstring. All players need their hamstring to work. Everyone on the field need their hamstrings attacked. So makes sense. But the Chiefs have arrived. They're back. They were slow for a little bit, but they're back on the map. Lamar, I don't know, man. I mean, even watching him play this game, it just felt like I feel like sometimes he just forgets that he makes the game so much harder than it needs to be for his skill set. I think he forgets what kind of quarterback he is sometimes. Like, he had a fumble that, in my mind, I'm like, you shouldn't have fumbled that ball because you shouldn't have been running. You should have been looking to throw the ball. And lately, in these last couple of games, he's been looking to run before he throw anything.
Yep. He had a fumble against the Lions in that Monday night game that cost them, where he just got rid of it.
Yeah. So
So he's not
he's
playing like himself. That's for
yeah.
sure.
And it's when he plays from behind, he gets very frustrated, and it comes up in his body language.
Hmm.
And he's an emotional guy. He can't control it a lot. I'm not knocking him for that, but it transitions into his gameplay. Like you can tell, and his head is going too fast because he wants to make the play. He wants to get down the field. He wants to score, especially when he's playing from behind. He thrives on playing from ahead because that means he get to take his time and pick the defense apart and do all his running stuff and all of that. When you got him on the ropes, he panics a little. He's a
Yeah.
little erratic when he plays. I
Uh,
think teams just kind of know that about him. You got to get him off a square, kind of knock him out of his zone, to kind of get him where he's at. Yeah, he'll be out for a couple of weeks. We'll see what happens when he comes back to play. But yeah, the Chiefs are good to go from now until the end of the season, so we no longer have to worry about them. They're going to be just fine. All
yep.
right. And now we're going to get down to our Sunday night matchup, a huge one, stamped even before the season even started. The NFL world was drooling for this game. Your Packers up against the Dallas Cowboys. Tyler, the floor is yours.
Yeah, and this game was fireworks from the get-go. At first, it looked like the Packers were going to blow the doors off this thing because they got to a quick touchdown or got to a quick 13-point lead. And then this is when things in momentum changed, and the Cowboys were like, no, we're going to come to play. So the Packers, I mentioned, basically lost week 3 because when it came down to it, had a field goal blocked. Well, after the Packers' second touchdown, they had the extra point blocked, and that was picked up and ran all the way back for 2 points. That ended up being a major issue again as to why we did not win this game because we tied 40-40. That 2 points is the difference in this game. Yes,
Origami.
this game went to overtime, and but I did say a lot of fireworks. So the Packers finally, their defense decided to not remember how to play. We've got some issues at cornerback because it felt like every time Dak Prescott dropped back to pass, he was completing the pass. Like you already know, oh yeah, wherever he throws this guy's gonna catch this shit. Both quarterbacks did play great. As I mentioned, Dak Prescott, he was 31 of 40 for 319, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He was sacked once by Micah Parsons, but Micah at times it seemed like he was trying his ass off, but he was not really having as good of a game. He did get the 1 sack, but he was just kind of non-existent. It seemed at times. So there was other times where I felt like he should be on the field, and he wasn't. So I don't know if the back thing is a little bit more of an issue now at this point. But Jordan had a first-time type game. Remember, we have 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and he's the first quarterback in franchise history, which has been around for 106 years, to go throw for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and have more than 25 yards rushing. He was 31 of 43. Oh, and complete 30-plus completions because he was 31 of 43, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, was sacked 1 time, and he added 28 yards rushing on 3 attempts. He did have 1 fumble lost, but he played his ass off. Romeo Doubs had a pretty big game, had multiple touchdown catches. And Josh Jacobs, yeah, Romeo Doubs had 3 touchdown catches. All 3 of Jordan Love's touchdown catches were to him. Matthew Golden had a couple nice plays. It seems like he's finally at some point got that breakout game coming at some point. But the Packers defense did not show up at all. Like I said, they gave up 40 points in the tie, and the special teams is really becoming a problem. And they've been ranked towards the bottom in the last 10 years. And they, like I said earlier, they have the highest paid special teams coach, and it's not paying off at all. So something's got to be done there. But the Packers had plenty of opportunity to win this game in regulation. They took a lead and then gave up a touchdown on a fucking bomb. Like they were just to George Pickens where it looked into double coverage. It looked like there was no way he was going to get it. Sure enough, he did. Their DBs were getting torched all day. So we really need to figure out something. Maybe we are able to make a trade for a corner or something. I don't know, but we need some help because George Pickens had himself his best day as a Cowboy. He had 8 catches for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is big because, like we said, CD Lamb is out for, I want to say, close to maybe a month. Who knows? But the Cowboys got the ball, had another crazy toe tap sideline catch in overtime. They kicked the field goal. The Packers then went down and basically seemed like they played for the tie at the end instead of going for it and kicked the field goal as regulation ended. They almost ran out of time. So there's some poor clock management and decisions there late to where I'm not as confident in the Packers season as of right now. But we do have the bye week this week as well, so maybe it's coming at a good time. We got some banged up players, and we needed some of that humbling pie because even before week 3, we had one of our offensive linemen open his mouth to the reporter saying that he thinks we can go undefeated. Like, way to go. Don't talk about shit like that. So hopefully, the nice thing about after the bye week, they do host the very bad Bengals. So they should get bounce back there. It just looks like right now that the Packers are completely 2 different teams at home and away. So we got the same sample size of both, 2 home games, 2 road games, and we got a 2-1-1 record. We'll say, though, AT&T Stadium is fucking insane. It is so large. The Jumbotron is insane. So you can't know which shit. Maybe do I watch there or do I watch down? It's like, gives you a bit of a headache, but so many people there. You know, it has 80,000 people seating, and then with the standing room only, it's 105,000 capacity. So fucking spaceship that thing is.
Yeah. Jerry Jones's baby.
That's why they call it Jerry World. So I will say, even though the outcomes of both games these past 2 weeks were not what I wanted, I had an absolute bucket listy type week of getting to go to 2 different Packers road games weeks apart. So wish we could have brought home 2 W's, but still had a blast at both games. Yeah. But the Packers going forward got a lot of soul searching to do here in this bye week, and I hate having the bye week after only 4 weeks, but you know, it's just the way the card is dealt to you sometimes. So hopefully we can get on a roll when we get back.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, like just a final thought on this. This is probably one of the most even games I've ever seen in my life, from beginning to end. It just even. It was 2 good teams. Yeah, marginally, because your defenses are both kind of shoddy at the moment. But the fact that it ended 40-40 almost felt right. Because I think the NFL world would have blown a gasket if Micah Parsons lost or won that game. So I think it was probably best for the media world to not have to have a month-long discussion about Micah and Dallas and Jerry and all that stuff for the foreseeable future. So that game's done. It's in the trash. We'll never know for sure if the Dallas Cowboys are better or worse without them. They're the same. Nothing's changed. Yeah, they're the same team. They're still Dallas.
Yep. So we will see going forward where these teams go. That's for sure.
Yes, for sure. And I will round out the week with our Monday night games. Another doubleheader. I wish they stopped doing these. I do not like these.
And they weren't. They're both 2 boring, terrible games too.
Yeah, not fun. So we'll go ahead and get through them. The Jets went up against the Dolphins. Dolphins get their first win on the season. They did actually play a really good game against the Jets. The Jets are just a sloppy football team right now. And Justin Fields, I've always been a Fields fan, as you know. I love Justin. I'm rooting for him. A man can't complete a pass more than 5 yards down the field. That has to change. You gotta build an offense to where he can push the ball down the field. because basically all of his passes were behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you're not.
Basically all.
So yeah, these are just two really bad teams. The Dolphins do get their first win, but it was at a cost. They did lose Tyreek Hill for the year. He dislocated gnarly injury, dislocated his kneecap, or dislocated his knee, tore his ACL and multiple other ligaments. So Jalen Waddle's going to have to start to perform. But Darren Waller, I believe he had his first game. He had 2 touchdown catches. So
Retirement and go have a game like that. Like that's crazy.
wild. So, but
happens when you don't play for New York.
Devon Achane is a really good player, though.
Yes.
For the Dolphins. So that's one bright spot coming out of this one. But again, yeah, we don't need two Monday night games when it consists of two shitty teams like this. Oh, also, I wanted to add this about the thing. NFL games, pro sports should not ever end in a tie. That's all we have to say about that. That was my final little bow on that.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I agree. It happens so rarely in the NFL anyway. So when it does happen, it's like, ew, that shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a tie. But yeah. Jets Dolphins, not a great game. Especially not for the Jets. I mean, the Jets are 0-4. Another 0-4 team. They're gonna have to figure something out. Because Aaron Glenn is gonna blow a gasket if they don't win a game soon. And we can't have that. And then our next game up was the Bengals and the Broncos. Another one where it's just like one team which is more dominant than the other one. Broncos win 28-3. That's it.
The Bengals are just also one of the worst teams in the league. They made the wrong decision in paying 2 receivers after paying a quarterback. So they should have paid Jamar Chase and worked on that defense. Because now Joe Burrow's out. I don't know that we're even if he's available to come back, if we're going to see him play again this year. There's no point because this Bengals team is bad. They are probably going to end up. I mean, I'm surprised they're 2-2 at that. But this game is another reason why we don't need these 2 Monday night games. They're both shitty matchups, and one, like you said, this Denver's pretty solid, I think. But you just don't know what you're getting on a week-to-week basis sometimes with Bo Nix.
Right. Exactly.
But this we don't need 2 matchups that are going to be one with 2 teams that are looking for their first win, and the other one where it's a complete and absolute blowout. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it weren't great games to watch. It's specifically the Bengals Broncos game. I spent very little time looking at that game just because of how inefficient the Bengals are. They're just not a good team, and it just goes to show how vital Joe Burrow is to that team. So again, it just makes no sense why you would not. I mean, even if you don't want to pay like your defensive player, do something with your offensive line. Like your offensive line is terrible.
Yeah,
it's really bad. And I should know. I have been a proprietor of bad offensive lines my majority of my football career, so I get it. It's not good. Their season is pretty much shot. If you ask me, I don't see them winning any games comfortably or handily at any point in the season going forward. So yeah, good win for the Broncos, but it's the Bengals. You should beat them if they playing like this. You should beat the Bengals.
Yeah, that is true. Well, that wraps up week 4 already. We're a month into, basically a quarter into the season. Who do you got your game ball going to?
All right. Well, normally I try to give my game ball outside the team because it seems a little too easy to give the game ball to a team player on your team. But I'm so sorry. It's going to Josh Blackwell for that last kick, that block kick at the end of the Raiders game. I think it turned the tide on something on that team. So it's going to Mr. Blackwell for me.
Okay. This one was a little harder because I typically don't try to give it to somebody who was on the losing end.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Ashton Genty finally coming out, having a solid game, being, really high pick, basically the Raiders offense. So I will say, yeah, Ashton Genty gets my game ball.
All right. Sounds good. All right. And that means we're going to go on to our rapid fire picks. We normally would do like our rankings, but I think because we missed a week, we can skip it this week and then we'll catch back up next week. That way we have some time to prepare for it a little bit better.
Yeah.
And plus, I think the games have changed significantly so much now anyway. I don't think any of our numbers should be, team should be that much similar. So give us another week to kind of get those numbers right. But let's go ahead and get started with Thursday night's game. It's going to be the 49ers going into Los Angeles to play the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams in this one. I don't think the 49ers have enough juice to stop Stafford in the cooler. I don't see it.
I agree there, and they're the home team. Home teams typically win these short layovers.
That works for me. Next, we have another international game. The Vikings going up against the Browns. Where is this played again? Where are we going?
This one's London, I believe.
Yes, we are in London. We're in Tottenham. That's correct. So yeah, in this game, Jesus, I'm gonna go with Minnesota, but I'm doing it reluctantly.
I am too, and the only reason I am is because they stayed over because they played in Dublin last week, so they're not making the trip for the first time, so they're going to be a little more acclimated to.
Yeah, and you're starting Dylan Gabriel. You can put him out there over in another country. All right, great start for him. All right, next up, we've got the Dallas Cowboys going into New York to play the Jets. I think Dallas comes out with a win here away.
I do too, just because the Jets, they are not very good.
No, they are not. Our next matchup is the Giants and the Saints. This could easily be a dud of a game, but I think Jackson Dart gets another W here.
I'm going to go with you there, but don't be surprised if the Saints do find a way.
That's okay. They're a good trap team game. They are. They can beat you. I don't know how they do it, but they can do it. All right. Now the Raiders are going to go into Indianapolis and play the Colts. I think the Colts got a little bit of a bad taste in their mouth from this last loss, so I think they're going to come in and handle business against the Raiders.
Yeah, if Max Crosby doesn't ruin Daniel Jones' confidence again for this week, then I think the Colts get the win as well.
Hey, man. Max Crosby, I'm telling you, he a demon. He ain't no human. Next up, the Dolphins are going to go into Carolina to play the Panthers. And I don't care if the Panthers are at home, they're going to lose.
Yep. I think Dolphins maybe without Tyreek Hill find a way to kind of start opening up a few things a little differently. And maybe there's a little less distraction, obviously.
I agree.
But I just don't see the Panthers getting the win here. So give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, not this week. Not for the Panthers. Our next matchup is going to be the Broncos, and they're going into Philly to play the Eagles. I'm sorry. Philly is on a tear right now. I don't see them losing any games right now.
I'm with you there, too. I think they're just playing too good.
Yeah. All right. And then we've got the Texans, and they're going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Well, we know Lamar is going to be out for this game, and the Ravens are basically depleted on defense. They lost a guy for the season. Roquan is out.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the Texans, but it's gonna be a gross game. It's not gonna be fun.
This is gonna be one of maybe the worst games of the year, just from the
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Our next one might be pretty bad too. Our next one up. So that's gonna be the Tennessee Titans going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Yikes. Yeah, give me the Cards at home, man.
Yep, and I'm only taking them strictly because I said I'm not going to be able to make a decision where I'm actually taking the Titans to win a game this year.
Yeah, not going to happen. All right, this should be proven to be a good matchup. We got the Buccaneers going into Seattle to play the Seahawks. Now, this is a game that I'm actually looking forward to seeing. Starting in our afternoon slate. Well, it's one of the next afternoon games we have. I'm gonna go. Give me Seattle at home.
Yeah, I think this is going to be maybe the game of the week, but yeah. I am actually going with Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Okay, all right. We got a little bit of a break there. All right, sounds good to me. And then we got Lions Bengals in Cincinnati. Hang the hat on the Lions and walk out the door. That's all you got to do.
An absolute shit show.
Yeah, that's going to be. I wouldn't be sure they put 70 on them if they just drop 70 burger on that team and leave. Just walk out. Bye. Oh my gosh. All right, next up, the Commanders are going into Los Angeles to play the Chargers. Is Jaden Daniels back yet this week?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Or no, I think he is expected to maybe play.
Okay. If he plays, I'm going to go with Washington. If he does not play, I'm going with the Chargers.
Okay,
So
I'm going
I'm
with
going.
the Chargers. I think they get a bounce back after a pretty poor performance this past week.
Okay. I'll wait to see for sure if he plays, then I'll put that down on the list. But if he plays, I'm going with the Commanders. And then we got our night game for Sunday, which is the Patriots going up against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Feels like the Bills are playing at home like every week. How do they keep getting these home games all these weeks in a row? But you know what? I'm gonna go with the Bills anyway.
So am I. So
Fantastic. And then Monday night, the Chiefs are going up against the Chargers. Normally, I would have said this would have been an easy game for the Chiefs to win.
Jaguars.
What did I just say?
Chargers.
Jesus Christ. Thank you. Jaguars. Normally, I'd say this is like an easy game for the Chiefs. It will not be. I think this will be a close fight of a game. I do still think the Chiefs will win, though. I think their win against Baltimore put a little stank in their step a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think this is going to be a really fun, interesting game to watch. But don't be surprised if we do get a Trevor Lawrence dud and it's a blowout. But I think it could be an interesting game, close maybe. But the Chiefs ultimately win. And like I said, I think they're going to start to go on a bit of a winning streak here.
All right, sounds good to me. Well, that is it, man. That is week 5 of the NFL. We have done it.
Yeah, we have. So
Indeed.
both our teams off this week with buys, but
Thank God.
2 sleeps away from week 5 games kicking off. And then obviously we said we got a couple nice, juicy matchups for college on Saturday. So another great weekend ahead. We're already a month into football, and it's wild. It's chugging along already.
Yeah, it's going really fast. I am looking forward to the weekend, though. I'm mostly looking forward to not having a heart attack this weekend since our teams are both unbiased. So looking forward to just enjoying football this weekend, no matter the circumstances. Well, that does bring us to the end of this episode. We do thank you all for tuning in and listening, and we'll catch you all next week.
Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. Thanks for listening and tune in next time. Take care.